it's not a concern for everyone.
I don't ever think about it.
Nick Hatfield and his father Richard run Joplin Auto Sales on Main Street.
Social media is there, and it's what we're on all the time, but I don't ever think about what if I die, you know, if this account's going to stay active or anything like that.
However, there are others who feel differently, primarily because it is personal information. Sure, it's not financially binding in most cases, but there are those who want to keep their private lives private, even in death. So what's the answer? Well, perhaps you've thought about storing those usernames and passwords somewhere on your phone. But what if your phone is password protected and then you die?
We wouldn't know.
Mike Haynes is the regional director of external affairs at AT&T.
Say that you were, on the account or had the right information, we might be able to help you with like accessing the account information. I mean, obviously, so you could close out an account or something like that, but the device itself, we don't have a lot of control over.
So it's control that's in your hands and can even be attained quite easily. Legacy Locker, for instance, it's basically an online will designed specifically for our digital assets and who has access to them after a loved one passes. It does, however, come with a price, $30 a year or a one-time fee of $300. You can also take the route of putting your usernames and passwords in an actual will. Remember what attorney Dan Whitworth told us last night?
The more information you put down and you give to those people when you're not around, the better it's going to be for them.
An old school approach to dealing with new school technology, something else for us to deal with when it comes to personal information. And for now, that approach is fine for the Hatfields.
I'd probably do a combination of safety deposit box and then have a trusted family member or something that had the passwords and stuff as well.
He loved gadgets.
Kelly Norris is talking about her brother Neil, who lost his battle with colon cancer on March 8th of this year. Prior to his passing,
We talked about his wishes and what he wanted, and if there were certain things that he wanted someone to have. But the one thing that I didn't think about talking to him about was his passwords for like Facebook or his email account and the social media type things like that.
She's not alone. It seems we all have to monitor more these days.
All information could be construed as an asset.
Jeff Williams is the president of Liberty Bank in Joplin.
The difference between a banking asset and a information asset is just what is the value.
And many of us can't put a price tag on information, especially when it entails things like pictures on Facebook or personal emails. And when it comes to death, those accounts don't go with us. For instance, Facebook will memorialize the side of a user who's passed away if it's requested and if they receive a death certificate in the mail. Yahoo also requires a death certificate and will provide access to emails, but only in the form of a CD and not the account itself. So are there options?
Oh, absolutely.
Attorney Dan Whitworth says the safest bet is to add all usernames and passwords to a will.
It's an excellent idea. The more information you put down and you give to those people when you're not around, the better it's going to be for them.
Losing a loved one is never easy. Not having a complete sense of closure can make it more difficult.
To me, the concern on that would be their accounts have been hacked at some point in time for information. I don't know the personal information that my brother has on there or has put on there in the past. I know that I try to keep mine at a minimum.